Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Rewind. That is your girl Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Today guys, we are going to be going over the latest episode of House of the Dragon, season 1, episode number 9, and it's called The Green Council. And as many of you know, your girl has been totally under the weather, but I'm still trying to push forward and get some of this content out. So please excuse my voice. I'm trying my best here, okay? But I am taking you guys' advice and I'm getting rest, guys. So don't worry, because as I do this, I'm able to sit and relax. It's not like this is a bunch of moving around, okay? So it's all good, all right? Now, this episode is surrounded by the Greens doing everything they can to hide the fact that the king is dead, okay? We see a young boy walking through the dark halls and we can tell that he has some news, okay? So he runs and tells this news to Alicent's handmaiden, Talia, who we later find out that she is a part of Lady Mazaria's web of spies, all right? So she tells Lady Mazaria, who is also known as the White Worm, and she has shown us that she is the master of whisperers, okay? But she is in competition with Lord Clubfoot, so she really needs to be careful. And we're going to talk about that a little later, okay, guys? So the Greens hold a secret council meeting where Otto announces that Viserys is dead. So long story short, Otto shares that the king's dying wish was for his son Aegon to be his heir and not Rhaenyra. And no one had any objections to this because with or without the king's so-called dying wish, Otto was already planning to usurp the throne from Rhaenyra. Now, I said that no one had any objections to this coup, but that's not true, okay? Beesbury was not with this conspiracy life, and he spoke up about it, and he tells the Greens that he's known the king longer than all of them, and he will not believe that he said this on his deathbed with only the boy's mother as a witness. And they know doggone well that this makes a lot of sense, okay? Viserys didn't move like that, so why would his dying wish be to put his son on the Iron Throne? It makes no sense at all, especially when he just finished coming through one last time for his daughter, his only child, by the way. And Viserys did this because he knew what was up, all right? Meanwhile, Alicent sitting over there speechless because she knows this is some bull crap, okay? She just wants to make herself believe that this was Viserys' dying wish. But Beesbury, he calls them out on this nonsense and goes on to say that this is seizure, theft, treason at the least. Then Beesbury makes a comment that the king was well last night. So which one of you here can swear that he died on his own accord? Okay, so now Beesbury is making an accusation that folks probably done killed him. You know what I'm saying? Y'all over here conspiring. Y'all probably killed him. But before he could finish what he is saying, Kristen Cole pushes him down in his seat and smashes his head on the table. So now Beesbury is dead, guys, and it was definitely not a shocker to me because in the book, Beesbury represents the first of the bloodshed in this civil war. So now Sir Harold pulls out his sword and he commands Kristen Cole to lay down his weapon and remove his cloak. Like, you're doing too much and you don't deserve to be a part of the Kingsguard. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, guys, this would be the second time Sir Kristen done killed someone at court and nobody has done anything about it. So I respect that Sir Harold spoke up and was like, nah, we're not doing this. You're fired. You know what I'm saying? Remove your cloak. But, you know, the fact that Sir Kristen doesn't get punished for these angry outbursts not only gets under my skin, but it encourages Sir Kristen to continue this behavior, you know? So anyway, Sir Kristen points his sword back at Sir Harold and tells him that he will not suffer insults to his grace the queen. And Alicent assures Cole that she has not been insulted, so put away your sword. And that's when Cole puts his sword away. I can't even tell you guys how much I hate Sir Kristen at this point. But anyway, Sir Harold was like, are y'all serious? Has it really come to this? And then when they start talking about killing Rhaenyra and all her kids, that's when Sir Harold tells them that he is out of here. You know, I was King's Guard. The king is not here, so there's no place for me here, no need, all right? So he takes off his cloak and he leaves. But before this, Alicent speaks up and she lets it be known that she's just appalled by the fact that they plan to kill Rhaenyra and her family. She says to her father that she will not have him deny that the king loved his daughter. But I honestly hate how they've decided to make Alicent this complex character in the show, guys. Because in the book, she was all about power, and she didn't care about Rhaenyra's life, you know? In the book, it was said that she hoped the whore will die in childbirth, you know? But this was according to Mushroom, who wasn't even there, so we can't believe that statement. Still, it doesn't change the fact that Alicent is definitely an inherently evil person, okay? She's definitely her father's child, but in the show, they have her playing this complex individual who fake struggles with doing the right thing. Yes, she seems to always be doing the wrong freaking thing, you know? And her fake struggles come about when she tries to rationalize with herself or justify why she's doing the wrong thing. Because come on now, like, she knows that claiming that this was Viserys' dying wish makes no sense. I know that I keep saying it, but there's really no other way to put it, you know? But for Alicent, Viserys just saying the name Aegon gave her everything she needed to rationalize her behavior, all right? Plus, look at how she reacted to Kristen killing Beesbury. We got nothing, guys, okay? Because that's something that was okay with her. Beesbury was a threat, and he had to be put down. Just like her acting like she was against Clubfoot killing Lord Strong so her father could come back. You know, my thing with Alicent is I need her to stop acting like she has some good in her. You know you're evil, just embrace it. Because what excuse do you give yourself for letting Lord Clubfoot jerk off to your feet and legs? You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about that too. But at some point, guys, she just needs to stop pretending like she's this righteous queen. Anyway, before I move on, I just want to say that in the book, Sir Harold is dead at this time, so he wasn't originally a part of the Green Council. So I'm really curious as to where they're going to go moving forward with his character. Also in the book, Lord Clubfoot was a part of the Green Council, but he wasn't in the show, okay? In the book, it was reported that he didn't have much to say during the meeting, but like one line or so. So anyway, guys, the Greens make their plans to reach out to the houses that they know will back them, and they want to do a coronation for Aegon with the quickness. But the dude is nowhere to be found, guys. So Otto sends Sir Eric to look for him. And Eric is Aegon's sworn protector, but he can't keep up with Aegon because Aegon has his little methods of slipping away from Eric. Clearly, he knows how to use those back doors the way Rhaenyra did with her uncle Daemon, okay? Now, Otto also tells Eric to take his twin brother Arik with him and to tell no one who they are. Meanwhile, Alicent goes to Helena's room to look for Aegon, and Helena was like, he is not here. Like, when is he ever, you know? But we also get Helena telling Alicent that there is a beast beneath the boards. And this clearly has something to do with Meleys, who is locked in the dragon pit. The beast beneath the boards is probably still relevant to a future prophecy regarding Helena as well. And when that happens, I will bring it up again, guys. Next, Alicent sends Sir Criston Cole out to look for Aegon because he comes to her and tells her that her father sent Eric out to find Aegon. And she says to Criston, Eric has the advantage because he knows Aegon. So I need you to go find Aegon and bring him straight to me, all right? So Alicent and her father are pretty much battling to find Aegon because Alicent fears that if Otto gets his claws into Aegon, he's going to sway him into killing Rhaenyra and her family, and she's trying to stop that, okay? So moving forward, Otto meets up with the White Worm who tells him where to find Aegon because Eric and Arik run into one of the little spies who says that they're only going to give this information to the hand of the king. And that's why Otto had to go meet up with Mysaria. Mysaria gives her condolences on Varys' passing, basically letting it be known that y'all Negroes ain't got no secrets, okay? We know everything that's going on up in there, okay? And before I give you any information, before I let you know where Aegon is, I need y'all to stop what's going on with these children in those fighting pits, okay? Y'all got them on some savage stuff, and it's either because you don't know or you decide to look the other way. So Otto says, okay, I'll look into it. And then she lets Otto know that Aegon is in the sept where no one would freaking look for this guy because he's a pervert. And why would a pervert be in the sept? But in the book, it does say that he was found in the fighting pits where the kids have their teeth and nails found down and stuff like that. But instead, he was off somewhere with a young girl who was no more than 12 years old, and she had her mouth around his cockatoo. Okay. But that was according to Mushroom, and we cannot listen to Mushroom because he always has the perverted version. All right. But Septon Eustace does claim that Aegon was found with a woman of age who was highborn, okay? Now, regardless, this definitely shows us what type of person Aegon is and why he has a few bastard children around. It also shows why Sir Eric was just fed up with the whole thing and decided that he wants no parts of this conspiracy to put Aegon on the throne, because clearly he sees that he is not fit to rule, okay? Now, it was during this time that Sir Criston approaches the brothers and tries to take Aegon from them, and I gotta tell you that I loved when Auric kicked Sir Criston down them stairs, okay? But it didn't work out in the end for Auric, and it was kind of messed up that Eric didn't help him, right? He left his brother hanging. But at that point, you could see that he already made up his mind to leave King's Landing. But first, he had to go get Princess Rhaenys. But before I get into that, I gotta mention that Sir Criston was not on this mission to look for Aegon alone, because Aemond wanted to go with him. And during this time, we see that Aemond is just like another little Daemon, because he's the second son who believes that he should be next in line to the throne. He also believes that he's a better fit to be king because he's trained to be a warrior and studies philosophies, and he's all about duty, right? But this tale is nothing new, guys. We see it all the time. The second sons always want what's for the firstborn. But anyway, after Aegon is retrieved, I also want to mention that Clubfoot tells Alicent that Otto found Aegon first, because she had a conversation with her father and he was like, well done and stuff like that. You played your hand well. And she's like, this is not a game. And he's like, yeah, you're playing like it's a game, This is what I'm saying with her. She keeps trying to act like she's not playing the Game of Thrones, but she really is. And her father said it. You're acting like it's a game. You're playing it. Just admit it is all I'm saying about this chick. You're evil, girl. Just admit it. Anyway, so like I said, Clubfoot comes in and he mentions that Otto found Aegon first. All right. He tells her that there is a web of spies in the Red Keep that reports all their doings. Like the royal life is not a secret to folks, okay? Clubfoot tells Alicent that Otto knows about this and has kept it in place. He says that the system has been advantageous more than once for those willing to feed the Weaver. And at this point, we gotta figure that the Weaver is none other than Otto himself, all right? And this can go back to Helena's prophecy about the dragons of flesh weaving dragons of thread. Anyway, Larys goes on to tell Alicent that he can handle this web of spies for her. And of course, Alicent is down for Clubfoot to put in that killing kind of work, But once again, she doesn't have the heart to admit that she's evil, because he clearly told her that in order for them to get rid of this problem, he has to get rid of the spies, and there's no other way to do that, you know what I'm saying? So later on, we see that Clubfoot done set another fire, and this is most likely his way of getting rid of the spies, by fire, because that is clearly his weapon. He's a freaking pyromaniac, guys. And all Alicent had to do to get Clubfoot to do her bidding is show some feet and legs, okay? And then turn her head around while he jerked off. I told you guys that this dude likes her, and that's the only reason why he does these things. There is no other reason. I called it. He's not doing it for Otto. You saw clearly that he turns on Otto, trying to make it seem like, he could work for him some way, but clearly he's solely working for Alicent because he likes her. And we can see by this whole exchange that this is not the first time that this has been happening, all right? She's been showing feet and legs so that he could do stuff for her and give her information. It's just totally freaking disgusting, guys. Moving on to Sir Eric, right? So he goes to rescue Princess Rhaenys because the Greens had everybody locked up, including all the servants, because they didn't want anybody getting word to the Blacks. Now, before Sir Eric got to Rhaenys, Alicent paid her a visit and she apologized for having her locked in her chambers. After telling Rhaenys that the king is dead, Alicent tells her that she hopes that she can have her support to put Aegon on the throne. Of course, when Rhaenys accused them of usurping the throne, which is not an accusation, it's the freaking truth, we get Alicent talking about, oh, it's his dying wish. And Rhaenys scoffed at her, and Alicent was like, oh, believe what you will, but it's true, and it's of no consequence. He's gonna be ascended to the throne and all this crap, right? So like I said, she's there for Rhaenys' support. So Rhaenys was like, well, you sure are bold, I'll give you that. And that's when Alicent starts telling Rhaenys that her alliance with Rhaenyra has done nothing for her all these years. She throws in Rhaenys' face that Rhaenyra's children are not her grandchildren, and even her husband has abandoned her. And I was like, wow, this chick is way out of line for that one. Alicent even says that Lord Corlys is pretending to be wounded, and that was really out of line. So Rhaenys tells Alicent that the word of her house is not fickle. So then Alicent tries to get on Rhaenys' good side and tells her that she should have been queen. So after much more talk, Rhaenys says to Alicent that she is wiser than she thought she was, but she toils in service to men. She tells Alicent that she doesn't desire to be free, but she wants to make a window in the wall of her prison. Like, you ain't really about nothing but service to these men, okay? Have you never imagined yourself on the Iron Throne? So Alicent, she ain't got no comeback for that. Instead, she says, I'll leave you with your thoughts and you ring the bell when you have an answer. So back to Sir Eric coming to the princess's rescue. He barges into her chambers and tells her that he cannot let this treachery stand. So she gets up and she goes with him, and of course she has to cover her head because obviously the silver hair of a Targaryen is very easily spotted. So as they're making their way to the Black Water, Rhaenys tells Eric that she doesn't want to leave Meleys. But Eric tells her that they will expect her to be at the Dragon Pit, so they gotta keep moving. But then a commotion comes about, and we see that a bunch of guards are forcing people towards the Dragon Pit so they can witness Aegon's coronation. So Rhaenys has no choice to move with the crowd, and she loses contact with Sir Eric. But the good news is that while they are crowning Aegon, she can sneak away to get Meleys. So this works out perfect for her. Meanwhile, Aegon is looking like he's finally come around to being king and seems happy to hear people cheer for him. But to me, he definitely doesn't look the part, okay? But in the book, he did look more kingly. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, while folks are celebrating, all of a sudden we get this blast from under the floor, and out comes Meleys with Rhaenys on her back, looking just as fierce as ever, and with the armor on too, guys, okay? Now, I don't know where she got that armor. Maybe it's stored away where they keep the dragons and stuff, but I was loving it, okay? She looked like a true queen who didn't take no mess. And the fact that she just stared them all down with no words was everything, all right? She was especially looking at Alicent like, what you gotta say now? This what real queens do. And I could burn y'all all down right now, but I see you a mother trying to protect your son, so I'ma chill. But it would have been so nice if she would have burned them up, guys, okay? And I know y'all all feel that way. But the only thing about this is that if Aemond would have got hurt, I wonder if Vhagar would have showed up, because that's how Drogon used to do for Daenerys, He used to be far off somewhere, but with sense when she was in trouble. But anyway, Rhaenys took Meleys and flew away, and we already know that she's going to warn Rhaenyra. And now the true dance begins, guys. So before I get out of here, I do want to say that Alicent acted like a real mother when she stepped in front of Aegon and protected him from Meleys. Because earlier he asked his mother if she loved him, and instead of just answering the question, she called him an imbecile. Like, you imbecile, of course I love you. But she should have just told him that, because he can't tell by the way she's always been treating him. You know what I'm saying? But that moment right there, when she stepped in front of him to protect him from Meleys, that should have answered his question. It wouldn't have done nothing. If Meleys would have let some fire off, Dracarys stay behind, it wouldn't have done nothing, okay? She just would have been burnt first. They would have both got burnt up. You know what I'm saying? They are lucky that all she did was let out a freaking roar, all right? Another thing that I want to say before I get out of here is that it's really messed up that these people didn't even allow Rhaenyra to properly bury her father. Like, they allowed this man's body to rot and stink up and all of this stuff just so they can hide and do the wrong thing and just disrespect his wishes. Disregard, all of that. But you see how people are? That's why I hope they all get what they deserve, okay? Anyway, guys, that's the video for today. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Until next time, you guys take care and be blessed. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.